Annyeonghaseyo, what's up beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short, or Divine Star Seed. This is a collective message. Only take what resonates to and for you, leave what doesn't. You are always responsible for your actions and reactions to these spiritual guided messages. This themed pick a card, which is only 2 decks, is focused on, are you on the right path in love when it comes to love? This can get deep, it can get a bit triggering, so brace yourself for that by first closing your eyes. Center yourself, inhale deeply for the count of 7. Hold the breath for the count of 7 and slowly release the breath for the count of 7. Pause the video, do that as many times as you need to until you feel grounded and centered. Okay, you have a choice between the sun figure, the featherman figure, okay. You may decide based on the complementary decks for each one. The deck that will be shared for clarification between both will be the Princess deck by V from V Love and Crystals. The links to the special area decks will be in the description, so if you're curious, make sure that you check that out. And without further ado, let's get to your pile. Alright, pile 1, let's ring you in. You chose the sun figure. I'm hearing an Alicia Keys song that I believed I channeled in another pick a card. It might have been one of the collaboration readings. It was the what goes around comes around, what goes up must come down. So you could be dealing with a karmatic situation, person, energy within yourself. We'll find out. Always be open to see the truth. That's the best way to heal and move on. Triggers and traumas are things that you're meant to recognize, see for what they are, and release. Okay, let's find out what's happening here with you. For pile 1, are you on the right path in love? We got the 7 of Mirrors for the wrong reasons. You could be investing in a connection, in a situation for the wrong reasons. Someone could be calling themselves trying to be with you for the wrong reasons. But this kind of topic isn't always as simple as a yes or no. There's always layers. And it's important for you to see the layers so that you know exactly what it is that you need to move on from and heal. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit deeper into this. We have, I'm sorry, I'm the worst, I fucked up. This is the 5 of Cups. So we have the 7 of Swords, 5 of Cups. That's what the 7 of Mirrors is. Ooh, roll the dice, the chance, the destiny. Okay, that is the Wheel of Fortune in the traditional tarot. Okay, so we have I effed up for the wrong reasons, destiny. Are you on the right path in love? Darling, you are dealing with a situation that requires you to see it for what it is. Now, this could be your energy. Be open and honest with yourself if it is. This could be a person that you were dealing with or thinking about dealing with's energy. It feels like for some of you, this might be either an ex and or someone who just carries a karmic-like energy. They came across your path maybe for a reason, but they're not meant to stay past the season. We have the 7 of Mirrors representing that getting together for the wrong reasons, possibly trauma bonding. Like, hey, you've been through some ish, I've been through some itch. Let's get together because, I mean, shoot, we should understand each other. We've been through the same hardships, right? That's not a good reason for rocking with a person. There are plenty of people and situations that individuals try to make that whole trauma bonding thing make sense. And the thing about traumas, if you hang on to them, they fester, they grow, they turn to something else, and then you end up projecting that energy out. What within yourself do you need to purge that could be reflecting in this person, and or vice versa? Especially if this is an ex, especially if it's somebody you've been on and off with, you've rolled the dice with this person multiple times and it's ended up in the same result. Why keep rolling the dice, right? We have, I effed up, I'm sorry, I'm the worst. So this could be someone who played you, or you played them. It's feeling like I wanted my cake and to eat it too. And I understand why that expression can be so frustrating, because a lot of times the expression feels like it's coming from, well, if it's my cake, why can't I want it and eat it too? But really what it's talking about is you expect the cake to be there after you've eaten it, after it's gone, after you've wasted whatever it is. You still expect that thing to be there when you've already devoured it. You've already gotten rid of it, so to speak. So it's like someone could have expected you to still be there by their side as they kept playing you, because typically you were right there. The Wheel of Fortune is like, what goes around comes around, what goes up must come down. And the reality is that's happening because you're in a connection that's always been up and down. For those of you who might be single right now, it's saying that you still have something in your system. There's still reasons that you might want to be in love right now that you need to evaluate so that you don't get into a connection for the wrong reasons and then end up effing up, or they F up. It's not about being afraid of making a mistake. But please do not be one of those people that try to make an excuse of mistake. Like, for example, when people cheat. Oh, everyone makes a mistake. Bruh. If you keep repeating the mistake, is it really a mistake, or do you just want to do it for paybacks or because you can, or whatever the case may be? Discipline in having more of an understanding of yourself and the connection that you're in is important if you're going to call yourself being committed, or if the person you're dealing with is going to call themselves that. If you were thinking of getting back with an ex, this is a no. You don't get no more solid of a no than that, right? If you're thinking, hey, I'm single and I want to be in a connection now and I'm seeking for love, evaluate whether or not you're seeking it for the right reasons, or that you're crushing on the right person. Now, I don't know who's going to be watching that's going to resonate with this part. This could also be someone you know, but I got to speak on what I'm feeling. If the person you're interested in is dealing with someone else, leave that alone. Leave that where it is. Don't waste your time, okay? Because you're going to find yourself trying to get into that connection. They're going to end up, there's something that's going to be a loss in that connection. You're not going to win in that type of scenario. And all they're going to be able to say to you is, oh, I effed up. Oh, give me another chance because I effed up the first time. You don't need that kind of drama. You don't need that kind of issue. You don't need that kind of drama. Let's move on. Your ex isn't always meant to be your next. I tell y'all that all the time. Not every past love situation is a divine connection. Sometimes it's just that thing you had to go through to have some type of realization. Maybe you were carrying a belief system that wasn't really working for you and you needed to purge it. Let's see what the missing piece of the puzzle is for you. What's the missing piece of the puzzle for you? Why is this path going the way it is? We have opening up. Strength card, the strength to be open, the strength to be honest. Ooh. The producer plant. That's a sneaky energy right there. I will dive into that in a moment. Seven of Roses. Drama, which is the Seven of Wands. So with the strength card, with the opening up energy here, it's possible that when you were in your last connection, and or as you think about moving into another one, you're really not being open with yourself, least of all with another individual. That can lead to problems in of itself. If you don't feel secure, and make sure that when you don't feel secure, you're not basing it all on past experiences. You're paying attention to the current person, the current situation you're trying to deal with. If something don't feel right, it doesn't feel right for a reason. Your job is to evaluate and investigate what that reason is, so that you're not out here just saying, okay, I'm going to put my intuition to the side. I'm going to put my instincts to the side and jump in some ish and then be upset later when it comes back and it bites me in the behind. Because that you don't want to deal with, that you shouldn't have to deal with. The producer plant is saying to me that in the past or currently, you possibly opened up with somebody that had a shady vibe. Something about them didn't feel right. And the whole time when you were talking and you were saying what all your woes and whatnot were, this could have been someone you were interested in, this could have been a so-called best friend. They were sitting up here snitching to somebody. Or sitting up here thinking about, how can I make this situation be ruined for this person? Oh, well, girl, you just have doubts in your head because of what you went through before and blah, blah, blah. Like somebody that tries to alter the reality of a situation in order to pretty much gaslight you and make you feel like you're being silly. Your intuition can't be trusted. It's one thing. There's a genuine way to tell a person when you feel that maybe they're reading too much into something. And then there's this that like, oh, I'm gonna tell you that you're wrong, but really it's what you think it is, but I want to see you suffer, or I'm here to see the drama, so I'm gonna tell you, oh, you're just being too defensive or too suspicious because you opened up to the wrong person. This could also be someone that's trying to tell you, an individual that you might be crushing on is good for you when they're dead ass wrong. Like, oh, this person's, yeah, you guys should totally get back together, y'all should totally be a thing. And the whole time they just want to see the drama. They just want to see the play unfold. They're not being genuine. We have the Bachelorette, which is the Empress energy. And we have Justice, the hot seat. Yeah. Somebody, this particular pile, 9 times out of 10, either you're still carrying pain from an ex, possibly an ex is trying to get back with you. You might have been wondering what the freak is going on, that the same kind of like, even if it's not an ex, maybe it's the same type of vibration when it comes to the guy or girl you're trying to talk to, and you're like, well, what the F is wrong with me? Am I on the wrong path that I keep running into like the same breed over and over again of person? And what Spirit's trying to tell you is, you attract what you put out. And you may not be trying to put out anything negative, but there's something in yourself you did not heal. Do you feel deserving of love? Do you feel deserving of positive friendships? Right? Are you willing to let go of the drama, or do you find yourself feeding it? Be honest. Are you somebody, look, sometimes pulling up on people is just a waste of damn time. It's just a waste of time. You giving all that energy to somebody for what? Why do they deserve all of that? Are you that person that's like, oh, so-and-so playing, I'm gonna pull up on them right now. I'm gonna go ahead and argue with this person because I think that's being a bad bitch, or I think that's being like, that's me not being a punk. No, it's you getting punk because you're putting yourself in a vibration where it's like you're telling the universe, I like drama, I like conflict, I like fighting. Bring me more of it. And it's looking at you sideways like, but I thought you wanted something better. Don't keep talking to the player when you've already been played, or the playette. You know where this is gonna go, right? Don't have a judgmental mind when you come across a good soul and then you put them through even more like extra hoops and leaps when they're not even doing anything wrong, but it's out of the fear of what happened before. You've got to take the time to discern. If you feel you don't know how, practice. But this is like a mix of Spirit saying, I just keep hearing it, you've been through this before. What goes around comes around. And what goes up in those type of scenarios must come down. Not all things are necessarily destiny, but they can be fated based on how you move. Fate can sometimes be a person following their lowest vibration or a settling vibration. Like, I'm going to settle for this because it feels safe, it feels secure. Right? Destiny is like, I don't know how this may unfold or where it may go. I'm going to just trust my intuition and my instincts, and I'm going to go ahead and tap in. And how it comes out, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to survive the situation regardless. In fact, it's not even about surviving. I keep telling y'all it's about thriving. Are you tolerating a certain behavior pattern in lovers? Do you walk around with a certain negative idea about the kind of partner you're going to have based on your past experiences? Because if so, boo-boo, you're writing your own story and it's not looking pretty right now. So it's not always the question of, am I on the right path? It's the question of, are you walking that path correctly? Are you walking that path with confidence, security, love? The Empress, in her divinity, she's confident, passionate. She can create things on the spot. Mama's a whole queen, a whole goddess, and you can't tell her otherwise, and you can't make her feel otherwise. She don't have to be conceited or cocky, because her confidence is natural, pure, and authentic. But in a low vibration, she can be a bit of a manipulator, if not fully one. She can be a person who's not so secure, so she might look for insecurities in others. She can also be a person that self-sabotages in a negative vibration. If any of this applies to you or someone that you know who might be giving you advice, you have to be honest about it. Again, I feel like this opening up is telling you to be mindful whom you open up with about things, right? It's not telling you to close yourself off. It's saying you need to be mindful in how you open up. And first, you must start by opening up more with yourself. Have deep conversations and connecting moments to yourself before you necessarily try to do so with a lover or a person. If you got shady friends, because again, sometimes this energy comes out different for this card, but in this moment, I'm feeling what its original like context is, and it's more like a sneaky person behind the scenes trying to set something up or trying to set you up to fail because they like seeing the drama. They support you being the person that may lash out, okay? And or if you're a person who tends to want to back out of a fight or back out of a back and forth with a ex or whomever, they're the person to try to encourage you. No, you can't get punked like that. There's a time and a place. Some people are worth cussing out and some aren't. Some you can hurt far more when you just leave them the F alone. Okay? Normally, this is about standing your ground. But in this case, it's like a person just wanting to knock you off of your stage, knock you off of your pillar, right? And Justice card is saying somebody going to be put in the hot seat. Whoever is doing something shady, shisty, or wrong, they're going to be put in a hot seat. Let's get into the other part here. See what's going on. We're going to be using the Black Hollywood Romance Stars by Queen Sugar Tarot. I keep hearing that again. What goes around comes around. What goes up must come down. Now who's crying? Like, whoever's in the hot seat is probably crying. We have Love at First Sight. We have Forgive and Heal. Past Life. Self-love. It always comes back to that. With the Love at First Sight, I'm going to tell it to you how it's channeling. You have to be mindful of falling in love too quickly. It's not that love at first sight isn't real. People will have you think it's a fairy tale. It doesn't happen. It happens. It's a thing. Many people have been through it and lived happily ever after, if you would. But sometimes you have individuals who are just like, they're so hungry to be in love, so hungry to be in a connection, a relationship, that what starts to happen is that hunger turns into, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a need. It turns into an obsession a bit. You start to kind of, there's a particular word that's on the tip of my tongue to say, and for some reason they're not letting it completely come out. Maybe because it's a trigger for somebody. It's the vibration, but it's possible somebody would tune out if they heard the phrase. But the bottom line is, you find yourself clingy to this ideal, I want this. Here's what I think it looks like. This is how I want it to appear. Ooh, look, this person popped up right when I was thinking it. I looked at my phone and it said 11:11 and it must be them. And you start missing any red flags that came in the meantime and in between time. Let's say that it's an ex. You've been there and done that with this person. Oh, but they seem new now. They're not in love with the person they're with. Blah, blah, blah. However, the moment you get back with them and they hurt you again, you're back at square one with feeling like shit. And then you start to come down on yourself. This is where we get into the forgive and heal. You start coming down on yourself. You start thinking, why did I fall for it again? How could I be this stupid? Blah, 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 yada, 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 right? Spirit is like, listen, there is a love that wants to come towards you. And that person will look at you and want to give you all that you deserve. It would be their desire to do so, right? And they would ask the same of you. However, you can only allow that kind of love in when you forgive and heal, starting with yourself. You don't have to forget what anybody did. Nobody's telling you that. And understand something. Forgiveness isn't acceptance of bullshit. Forgiveness isn't, okay, because I forgave, I'm letting that which hurt me back in my life so it can do it again and then I can forgive again. No. Forgive keeps you from being a prisoner to that person's ish, to those people's problems, however many may have hurt you, whoever the one is that came to your mind when you were questioning, am I on the right path? Why do I keep meeting this same kind of dude or same kind of chick over and over again? Because you need to forgive and heal, and you need to be mindful of falling in love too quickly. Be open and honest with yourself. Have confidence in yourself. This is Venus energy with the Empress. For some of you could be Earth energy with Taurus. For some of you could also be someone could be a Libra. Someone could be a Taurus, a Libra, a Virgo, a Capricorn. Those are the energies that are channeling right now. And of course, there are two energies that are ruled by Venus itself that you may resonate with. But the planet of Venus can represent and does represent self-love. Yes, romance. But how can you really accept how someone's gonna love you if you can't really love yourself, if you really can't be open to yourself? And if you keep being open to shady people or the wrong kind of situations, if you keep trying to force something, because this could also be your energy. I keep it very real around here. You could be trying to force something and telling yourself the stories and the things that you would need to in order to force that said connection or that said commitment from somebody and or yourself. And Spirit is telling you, stop doing that. Take the rose-colored glasses off. Take the earplugs out your ear. Hear what's really being said to you and really being shown to you, and don't try to make it anything else. That just hurts you, and that keeps you from discovering the real love that you deserve. You'll know what it is because it'll hit different. It'll have a different flavor, a different harmony to it than anything you experienced before. And most importantly, you'll have the kind of confidence where no matter what happens, you understand you're going to be all right. Okay? We have over here on the side of karma and drama, heated seat, we have past life and confirmation of self-love, which was brought up before these even came out, honestly. Past life is that karmic issue. This could be something that's lingering from a past life, a pattern that's had to run its course again so that you can fully heal from it. And it's only running the course because you have to heal from it. And past life, while I do feel like for some of you, yes, this is connected to a different incarnation of yourself. I also feel like because we're talking about the energy of an ex being present, an ex can represent something that's the past and the current. The past trying to play out in the current. But I feel like for most of you, it's you having to learn some type of past life lesson when it comes to self-love, self-acceptance, and the power that holds. It's not telling you to be lonely. It's not telling you to be single. In reality, humans are about interaction and connection. It's how we evolve. We don't just evolve by ourselves. We are amazing, multidimensional beings. But in order to be multidimensional, we must be able to connect to other living sources. The universe's true goal and purpose is cooperation. Not chaos, not destruction, the concepts of man. That's not what it is. Nature doesn't operate that way. That's been the human perception because that's been the taught perception for a really long time. And how that applies to relationships is it makes people tolerate behaviors that you wouldn't otherwise tolerate. because you'll call it, because there are ups and downs, or because, people come in your life and some will do you right and some will do you wrong. And so you just start accepting any old thing. This is giving you a chance to change that. The moment you change that, that's when what you truly desire will appear before you. So it's kind of like the universe is throwing the question back at you. Is it about the path per se? Right? Or is it more so about how you're walking the said path? Perhaps it is both. Whichever, however, only you can decide how you're going to maneuver this. Only you can decide how you're going to further interpret the message that they're leaving you here. They've given you what's going on when it comes to the answer of the path, and they've given you what you're missing, or what you might be allowing and not taking notice of. Let's close your reading off. I pray that this is resonating for you and that it's healing you as you hear it. That it's opening your mind so that you can see clearly. It's opening your heart so that you can intuitively feel on a very deep level, because all amazing things come from the heart space, right? That you feel centered and illuminated in your solar plexus, grounded in your root, and that your creativity can give you guidance in this moment. Because if something's blocking all of those energies for you, it's problematic. We have the apple, fertility, rebirth, and temptation. I feel like you need to be mindful of the temptations, love. Not everything. The Seven of Mirrors, it's been coming out like this a lot, and it is one of the meanings when it comes to the Seven of Swords. Not everything that looks good, or you might think to yourself, dang, when I was with that girl, that guy, the sex was great, or this was great. This apple looked real shiny and delicious to Snow White. You know what happened when she bit into it, right? And what they forget to tell you is that there were magnets inside of it. So for all of the juiciness it looked like it was going to have on the outside, on the inside, it was rotten and nasty. Apples can represent fertility, and there is a Empress energy here. You do have the ability to turn things around for yourself. You have the ability to go through a transformation, a rebirth, right? To go from being like a spoiled apple into a good one, so to speak. But it's all going to be dependent upon you. First and foremost, you have to make sure that you're not falling for temptations. It's possible with this fertility energy that somebody might be trying to rush finding the right kind of love because they're afraid of maybe missing their opportunity of having kids, and or you might be wanting to have a kid with a particular individual who you've been on and off with a lot, and that's just not a good idea. Let me just be blunt with you. That's not a good idea. But your decisions and choices are your own. Okay? Nobody can tell you what to do. We have first kiss, anticipation, passion, rejection. Rejection is divine protection in this situation. Point blank in the period. And I just was talking about sex being good. I made a post about this. Those of you who follow me, you probably seen it already. And I said people have a tendency of confusing getting off on climax. They're two different things. And it looks like it's time for some of y'all to notice that. And don't let your anticipation for love, for wanting it so bad, from needing it so bad, turn into the kind of craving that is an obsession that you start kind of falling into situations and falling for any old little thing. On and off again relationships because you find yourself seeking. Start with healing something inside of you. We have wizard, mastery, great power, and we also have powerlessness. But what I feel here is that you're moving from powerlessness into great power because you're learning how to understand and master your energy more. You're learning from all of these situations. As long as you can acknowledge that, you can move forward. And my darlings, that was your message. You chose the sun. The sun decided to illuminate you with many truths. Some of them may feel harsh, but it's what you needed to hear in the moment. It's what you had to face. The real ones trying to make their way towards you, but in order for them to do that, you've got to let any old connection that tries to create an issue or damage get out of the way. And that was your reading. Let's ring you out. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul. Pile 2. What it do? Let's get on in you. Let's ring you in. Okay. Let's see. Are you on the right path when it comes to love and love? Are you on the right path when it comes to love, pal 2? Ooh. Okay. Oh my gosh, the song that I'm hearing for you guys. Let's start with your path 1. Wow. As much as I adore this song, the emotion that just came over me it's like I want to be calm as I describe it. It's like wanting to cry sweetly. It's like wanting to cry sweetly. Like there's nothing bitter in the tears that I'm sensing here. We start off with the 3 of Wands. And for your question, this is the entry. I'm feeling like you seeing the reflection of the gold is important. Maybe because you're meant to see how much richness is about to come into your life. You've been through a lot. You've been working on yourself, putting out the right kind of energy. You've been through plenty of struggles, and I feel like when you went through struggles, I'm going to put it to you this way. In connections you dealt with before in the past, you tend to be the person that was giving the most. It doesn't mean you didn't make mistakes, because sometimes the mistakes, and I have to point this out because so many people get caught up in thinking that mistakes always have to be someone starting a fight or something like that. Sometimes the mistake is allowance. Allowing individuals to think they can talk to you any old kind of way, treat you any old kind of way, do any old thing to you, and you'll let them back in. You'll forgive because maybe you think forgiveness is a part of your obligation. It somehow proves your love and your loyalty. It's being loyal to souls who show you time and time again they don't want to be loyal to you. And I'm going to tell you something. Anyone who's been in a relationship with you, whether it's been 1 partner, 2, 3, or 4, if it's been a serious connection, a serious relationship, when they did you wrong, when they did you dirty, however they may have done it, they always regret it. And they'll tell you that much. Always come back and tell you, I shouldn't have talked to you that way. I shouldn't have done what I did to you. I wish I could change it if I could go back in time, blah, blah, blah. And there might have been occasions where you listened the first time they said it, you believed it, you might have let them back in, and they showed you they couldn't be trusted. When you say you're done, you're done. And that's why people who have left you before thinking they could just come back, or people who you've had to put out, that's what makes them feel so regretful and at times even resentful, because once you say I'm done, I've given you enough, I'm not taking no more shit, that's what you meant. No harm, no foul. You don't have to hate them, but you damn sure don't want to deal with them. It's like the, hey, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here, out of my space, out of my energy. You will not disrupt my peace. And the entire time that you kept going through things, you had guardians. You had an inner part of yourself that was trying to show you the light, trying to get you to see. And at that moment, at that time, you just couldn't. I feel like your insecurities that took place in relationships didn't necessarily just come from the lovers. It came maybe from family members. It came maybe from a particular figure, like somebody in your life that you would have, been looking up to, or that maybe you felt like you needed guidance from. I don't feel like all of your pain is so easy to place on just the woman or man who came in your life and did you wrong. Maybe you had a father figure that wasn't the most supportive, or maybe a mother figure. Maybe you had an upbringing, or in society, in the family, you just kind of feel like you didn't fit in. And so it was easy to take that outcast feeling and kind of apply it in other areas of your life subconsciously, because I don't think you did this consciously all the time. And so it brought in the vultures, if you will. It brought in the people who want to push you as close to like empty, as close to dead as they can get, so they can feast on your energy, and you'll just be laying there taking it because you can't move. You don't feel like you can move. You feel stuck. You've found a way out of that. And it feels like you don't take, some of you, this isn't for all of you, this part, but it feels like you don't take enough time to praise yourself for this. And they want you to. Give yourself praise for coming out of those situations. Give yourself the pat on the back, the motherfucking round of applause. I'm going to give it to you. Give each other the rounds of applause. This is a collective reading. This is for more than one person. Different parts are going to resonate in different sections. You deserve that. Okay? So recognize it. For those of you who do take the time to recognize it, and I say this with love, I really do. Stop half-assing in it. Stop saying, I survived this. You know I'm the person who can keep going. Bah, 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 bah. And then the moment you go through something, even just the tiniest bit, there's that teensy little bit of doubt that starts to creep up in there. You are a powerful manifester. What you think about yourself, even in a millisecond, can become a reality. It only takes that 1 second for you to invest in it. This is your alarm going off. The ringing of the bell, if you would, to be more mindful in what you say about yourself and what you think about yourself. When you have these so-called moments of weakness, in the same moment, go find a mirror. I do this with clients a lot. I personalize it for who they are. If you need a soul session, book it. But go to a mirror right now. Look yourself in the eye. Do not look away. And proceed to tell yourself, you know you the shit. You know it. You know you are the best to ever do it, the best to ever do it in your life, because no one can live your life, your story like you. So before you sit up here, sir, miss, ma'am, whatever you want to call yourself, check yourself. Look in the mirror and speak to yourself exactly like that. I always recommend, depending on the situation, that you speak to yourself in two moments, both from the third party position. Because a lot of times in our heads, sometimes that's how we talk to ourselves. Like, think about it. When you make a mistake, you'd be like, why you do that? You know that's stupid. You know what I mean? So sometimes you also need to pick yourself up in that. And also speak it in the I am. I am powerful. I command a space in a room. I have done more than survive. I am thriving. This is going to be the message for the remainder of the season, probably into next year. 2023 is going to be about y'all really understanding, living the concept of thriving. Not talking about it no more. You've talked about it enough. You keep putting things off. This group, you feel like you keep putting things off in the quantity of years. And some things it's okay to do that with. Emphasis on some. But there are other things that you keep putting off and putting off. Let me explain something. If you made a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 10-year plan, that ish can't happen if you don't start working on it now. If all you do is dream about it and dream about it, you haven't put that money aside for that move, for that house that you want or whatever. You haven't taken the time to meditate, go within. You haven't taken the time to sit down when you ain't got nothing else to do and write out in a book the next business plan, whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you don't start the process, if you don't put it in front of yourself on a regular basis, them 5 years are going to go past and you still going to be sitting there thinking, well, in another, Spirit is saying, get on it now. When it comes to love, this is all connected, because the type of life that's coming in towards you is connected to your love path. Some of you may find that you'll meet your person as you elevate into these different phases of your success, but you've been working on you. And what they're telling the vast majority of y'all right now is stop half-butting it. Stop making excuses when you get to a certain milestone. Stop thinking that you're being humble when you don't actually pick yourself up on what you've thrived through thus far. Notice I said thrive through thus far and not just survived through, right? Wording matters for this group. What are you saying to yourself in your own head? Stop being overly emotional about things that don't deserve that kind of investment, right? Look at what you've been through before, and at the same time, don't let that become a crutch either. If you say to yourself, well, before my issue was people didn't listen to me, or my issue was I thought that they were, and then they would turn around and like really hurt me bad, or, you know, fake friends, and so I don't get close to people, I don't open myself up, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. You've been through what you've been through. No one can minimize that. But are you going to let those people keep dictating you? Because that's what that is. Okay, so you've been overtalked. That doesn't give you the right to then project your voice so loudly over another. Instead, communicate. Conversate. When something don't make you feel right, communicate that. Take time to hear the response. Because I'm going to tell you something. Anybody that's trying to play you will tell on themselves. You should have learned this lesson by now. But here's the catch. You can learn about them getting ready to do that in their words before the action even take place. We've all been in a moment where we've heard somebody say something, and for whatever reason we just didn't register it. And then later on, when we go through whatever we went through with them, we're like, oh, that's what that was. And see, the point of catching that moment is so that then you know in the future what it looked like. You're not projecting it on anybody, but you take time to learn that lesson. So now you sit and you listen. Listen doesn't mean that you're always just being quiet. You take the time to conversate and you pay attention to how they respond to what you say. That's a huge thing. You've done the work. And this is that good karma coming back to you, the ships of karma sailing right towards you. They're not that far off in the distance. This isn't always a card of just waiting patiently in the sense of standing on this area and not moving. You had to journey just to get to this point. Many of you, you're still on that path that leads you to this point. So are you on the right path? I feel like most of you watching this particular reading, you either might be single or you're in a connection right now that you sometimes question because maybe it's going too good. Right? For the others that might not necessarily be in the best of connections, this is your sign to move on. But I feel like when we're talking about your path in love, it's speaking more so to how you walk it as an individual before it really starts to incorporate the other moving pieces and people. Okay? So for you right now, those good shipments of karma are coming back in. You will have everything that you deserve. Everything that you truly desire. Not the things you might have been thinking you desire, but they were just like, you know, if not needless wants, then just like random stuff that seemed better than what you went through before. The Sun card is carrying the flag of victory right now. Carrying the child represents that new youthfulness, that new adventure, that new unlimited, boundless, possibilities and capabilities. You are not impossible. You are possible. It's in the word itself. I'm possible. So now is the time for you to claim that power. Be the sunlight. Be the sunshine. In your own darkness, that's what you are. And it's like, you know this, but understand, you're never walking this path alone. The more that you understand that, the more you start coming across the people, the content, whatever you need that helps you understand it. And because you have that victory, you don't need to go through constant battle after battle after battle. You don't need none of that. You got what you needed to learn from the situation. Be you feeling like you were once the defeated party, or be you feeling like you are the victor. Because sometimes the Five of Wands is about being the victor. You have everything that you needed to get. There's no point in chasing this person down and trying to get more out of them or out of the situation. Sometimes it represents a person wanting to come in and be manipulative, like try to talk you into pinning you against someone else or something else, make you kind of stay in the constant conflict. But the Five of Swords is about wanting to release that conflict. So release it. And here's all you got to do. You ready for it? Let go. Let go. That's all you got to do. You chose the feather. Once the feather falls off, sways down, lands on the floor. That's all I had to do. Didn't need to do nothing else. The bird keeps flying. The bird's not going to stop and go, oh God, I lost my feather. Let me go look for it. Nope. Keeps flying, keeps elevating, keeps going up. Feather gone. Feather comes off, hits the ground, does what it has to do down there. The bird keeps flying. You understand? You chose this for a reason. We're going to go ahead on and get into what pieces of the puzzle are you missing, could be missing. It may translate that way. It may translate different because this group here, you're different. You probably say that about yourself a lot too. I'm different. I'm just different. Say this more as a compliment to yourself and not so much as I'm kind of excusing myself so that people can realize that I'm not what they're used to. No, you need more confidence and bravery than that. I'm different because I'm different. I'm not like everybody else, nor should I be made to feel like I have to be like everybody else. I'm me. To be friends with me, to love me, is to get to know me as an individual, how I operate, and how my individuality can give grace and flow with others and accept and receive grace from others in a space and expand in it and help to also expand it in its wholeness. So start seeing that as a compliment to yourself. Say it like it's a compliment. Say it like it's one of your powerful attributes instead of like it, it's like when people say, oh, I'm weird. I used to say all the time, and I still sometimes do when people ask me certain things, but as a kid, I used to say I'm not normal. I'm not normal. So don't look at me to be normal. Whenever somebody says a certain expression like, oh, well, you know how we were at 13. I don't. I know how I was at 13. I don't know how everybody else, I wasn't doing what a lot of my friends were doing. They would normally come to me because of that. Mina's different. Go to her for the advice, right? Don't fear that either. I used to kind of like, or cringe a bit too. Like, oh, why does everybody come to me? No, I'm trying to like fade into the shadows, man. You know what I mean? But some of us aren't meant to fade into the shadows. We're meant to elevate out of them. For a rhyme, a reason, a purpose. We take others with us when we do. See what pieces of the puzzle you could be missing here. Woo, child. Y'all already know. Some of my regulars already know what I'm about to say. I don't know why I just heard Missy. Is it Gizzy? Look at here. This goes along with the first song I heard. And that song was, all that I got is you. And I'm so thankful we made it through. This isn't just speaking to, for those of you in a connection where that song like touches your heart and you really feel that about your person. Amazing. But it's not limited to that. It's also like it's a dedication to yourself. All that I got is you, and I'm so thankful we made it through. Because at one point in time, all you had was yourself. Some of you, it's not always going to be that your family didn't care or whatever. It's just that you were different, right? So a lot of times they couldn't understand you. They love you, but they didn't understand you. And when you went out into the world, there were more people who didn't understand you, and you start feeling kind of like a freak of nature or something. And it makes you sometimes distance yourself. Feel like, oh, why I gotta be different? Why me? Others, you might accept it, but you kind of, it's like you accept it, but at the same time you kind of view it like it's a handicap of sorts. It's like when people say, oh, I accept my disease. You should never accept your disease. Like, don't accept it. You shouldn't want to keep it. Let it go. Release it. It's not about saying that you deny that you have it. No, that's not the same thing. You have a recognition of what's going on, a realization of what's going on, but you choose to realize that you are more powerful than that thing. And you give yourself the space. And every now and then that thing may flare up in you, but like I said, you go to that mirror and you get yourself right. You do the work. This is the result of doing the work. This is what's coming back to you. Because of you taking the time to heal. And Spirit is saying continue on that path of healing, but while you're at it, leave all conflicts aside. You don't need to participate in no battles for no one. There are going to be some people that you want to fight to protect, and if they got your back, it's cool to have theirs, but be mindful of conflicts, because this is really about releasing those things. As you release it, you help encouraging the others that you do love to do the same thing in their life. Accept that you're about to win your goals here. When it comes to love, you can have it all. You don't need to settle for less, and it doesn't matter what your age is, because some of y'all are so quick to go for age, to go for, well, I've been through this, damn all that. This is telling you, You've been asking, you've been praying, you've been wondering. Sometimes you act like you're cool by yourself. Then you sit up there and you wonder, when is mine coming in? Right? And Spirit is saying that that person who comes in is going to feel the same way about you. All that I got is you. And I'm so thankful we made it through. That we made it through our individual storms and struggles before we even got together. Right? Then we get together and we're healing and we're growing and we're on this platform together, celebrating coming together, celebrating working as a team, building each other up, never tearing each other down. It's not saying you may not have struggles or sometimes little, debates amongst each other or whatever, but you work them out. You work them out, and it's worth working out with each other. So you find yourself saying, you know what, I'm so glad you didn't give up. I'm so glad I didn't give up. We didn't give up on ourselves. So that by the time we come into this connection, losing is not an option. We don't do anything that's going to rock this foundation. Because we're not building a faulty ass tower. We're putting in the effort to build something that's going to last for decades and centuries and lifetime after lifetime. And whoever you probably about to end up with, love, it's looking like it's that kind of connection. But first, you must continue your personal path of discovery. Do not think that this means when you get with your person, you will not be continuing it. Because true love is a journey, not a damn destination. Okay? And the understanding of yourself and the mechanism in each incarnation is also a journey, not a destination. Let go of this idea that you're going to get with your person and you're going to be like, okay, yeah, everything is cool. I have no more growing to do. No. You're going to have a lot more growing to do as an individual and as a couple, and giving each other the space to do that. This probably went a lot deeper, but like I said, that am I on the right path? Whenever that question comes up for anything, especially love, which involves you looking at yourself and how you connect to another, it's going to go deeper than just yay, no, yay, nay, yes, no, da, 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 da. It's going to go deeper than that. Okay? But I mean, again, you have this sun card here, right here is the teamwork with that. You have the rewards, the shipments coming in. You have the stage, the coming together, the union, the celebration of the union. The stage being prepared for you in the perfect match. You have this letting go of conflict, and as you let it go, you allow yourself to be able to venture beyond your limitations. I feel like I don't need to say nothing else. Let's move to the next deck. They're going to end up having me like, I don't want to come off like I'm preaching to y'all, okay? You're going to find yourself being like, is it, look at here, what I got. Look at how I'm working this right now. Ooh, I said what I said. Partnership. Said what I said, because that's what you're ready for. That's what you're ready for. That's what Spirit is preparing you for, a partnership. Not a dictatorship, not a I do everything or they do everything. A partnership. We work together. We reach the goals together. Oh, we got love letters. This fits the energy of what I was saying about that song, that feeling of like wanting to cry sweet tears to that all that I got is you. And I'm so thankful we made it through. The connection, a huge sign of your person. Some of you could be with your person already, and this is just kind of like confirmation for that. It's like just a sweet thing to confirm. But I feel like they take time to just say, you look beautiful today. I love you. Again, that I'm so thankful you didn't give up on you, right? That you didn't allow for the situations you went through before or the misunderstandings of how people treated you. You didn't allow all of that to break you, to crush you. And it's not saying that it was easy to not do that. It's not saying that there weren't times that you didn't break down and etc. But you built yourself back up when it seemed like there was no one else there. There can be guardians and guides around you, but it's not like everybody is aware of the guardians watching over them, trying to give them signs on a regular basis, right? It took you a time to even realize that the spiritual path you're walking right now was going to lead you to the confirmations you need. And that path may still switch and turn. You may have many mentors and many gurus over the time, but you learn something from each one. I mean, truth be told, sometimes you learn something even from the shady ones. Okay, and it allowed you to be in the space to elevate yourself. And so someone takes the time, either with letters or with words in your ear, to give you those butterflies, and you take time to do the same with them. It's not planned, it happens randomly, but it's what you deserve. It's what they deserve. We have expect a beautiful written love message from someone that admires you, or maybe you are the one finally expressing your love. I didn't feel moved to read the others in the last reading, but these want to be read. We have a partnership, values stability, emotional integrity, shared goals, and purpose. Enjoy the beauty of this bond while you are building a future together. Mic drop. Y'all already know. We do mic drops around here, okay? I feel like this is the releasing of the old feelings, the releasing of the conflicts of the past, right? Sometimes it's hard to get away. So I'm going to read what this says, and I'm going to tell you what I'm channeling from it. We have, sometimes those feelings never go away. Someone has you on their mind, or maybe you are on the one that has always been special to you in your mind, right? This doesn't mean an ex. This could be someone that you kind of always thought about. You were always kind of smitten with. Some of you might be in a relationship with this individual right now. Like, yeah, we used to crush on each other all the time. And now we're finally making this move. We're finally making this step, and it feels right and it feels good, but we're both, or at least I am still thinking, is this right though? Because I don't want to ruin the friendship, or I don't want to ruin the connection, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm picturing in my head? And I don't want you to base your situation on these two people. It's just their face came to mind, and that brought up a story I remember hearing Tina Knowles tell. So Tina Knowles, her current husband, they had a friendship prior to ever being together, when she was still married to her ex-husband, and he was married to I think it was, I don't remember if his wife passed, or I don't want to say for sure, because I don't fully remember. I believe she's still alive, but either way, they knew each other. I think mainly in passing, or just through kind of meeting up at similar events. However, whichever, they didn't even think about each other when they were in their situations. Then they divorce. Years, I think, go by of both of them being away from the other person before they even really start talking like that. Least of all, entering. And you can just imagine, probably while they were both single and just kind of talking, not even thinking about dating, that there were feelings that kind of kept popping up and developing. And who knows, for a while they might have resisted it. I'm not speaking on their situation because I'm not channeling that far. I'm giving an example. So it's not about basing your connection on that, but it's possible that you knew this person. You probably knew them when they were going through different relationships. You were going through different relationships. You probably always kind of felt something for them. Maybe not when you were, with your partner, but just periodically during moments of single, or during moments of like them leaving their situations, and you kind of probably told yourself, nah, let me not go there. And now was the opportunity to. And now that you have, it's an amazing thing. You might be telling yourself, this is almost too good to be true. Look, souls sing to each other in the most interesting of ways. Okay? Love can come about sometimes in the strangest of circumstances. But for others, this could also be someone that makes you feel old school love. You've never been with them before. You could have just met them. Or again, for some of you, it could be someone you don't know about to come in your life. But it's going to feel like an old friendship. It's going to feel like I've known you before. Because I'm pretty sure you've shared lifetimes with them before. This is a promise being fulfilled. We have the price of love. Are you willing to make an investment when it comes to love? Are you ready to pay the toll? Remember that love... Oh, I just said this. Oh, I want y'all to see it. I just said this. Remember that love is not a destination, but a journey. Mic drop. Mic drop. Listen. Listen. Are you willing to let go of the conflicts within yourself, because you know you're going to be all right regardless, and you're ready to make moves into the right type of love, the love that you've been deserving, the love that's been searching for you and you've been searching for it, and y'all probably already knew each other and kept dealing with trolls. Okay? And now finally you're coming together and it's about to be a beautiful thing. Use your discernment. Know what part of this message is for you. But whether it is the journey of self or the journey of love, it will always be a journey. Okay? Always. The home is within each other, and that home's going to constantly expand and grow, whether you decide to have kids or not. Whether you may already have kids. That's another reason I feel like what Tina Knows was bringing up might have channeled. Because he already had, I don't know if he has kids. I know he has a daughter, and his daughter's an actress like he is. But he already had kids. Obviously, she already had kids. And so she calls them her bonus, like her bonus daughter and her bonus children, right? Which is an interesting way of putting it, because she doesn't want to be seen as like a wicked stepmom. She sees them as like they're a bonus. They're a beautiful add-on to my life. And that's how this person will probably be with you if you already have kids, or both if you have children of your own. So whether you have some more together, whether you have your first together, there's something in the connection about just this sense of familiarity with each other. We have glass slipper, natural beauty, transparency, easily broken. You're not one who's easily broken. In the past, a lot of times you would feel broken, but if you really pay attention, you've always pushed through it. Always push through it. You're a natural beauty. You don't need to make yourself up. We have transparency. With this person, you can be transparent. They can be transparent. You help each other grow. What's my classic saying for my regulars? What's my classic saying when it comes to Cinderella? I say it about crowns as well. Cinderella's slipper could only fit her. Anytime they tried to put it on anyone else's foot, it got too big, it got too small, because it was meant for her. You cannot tell me she was the only size 9, size 7, size 6 up in the building. Whatever size she was, because she probably had bigger feet than what they try to have y'all have now. But whatever, right? Somebody else could have been her shoe size, but this was made particularly for her. I don't know why I keep saying shoe size. Maybe somebody says the word shoe funny. That could be a sign. And it's the same thing about a crown. You're not meant to try to wear anybody else's crown, and no one can come along and steal yours. That was custom made, darling. No one else can fit it but you. So wear it proudly. See these wreaths on their heads? Think of them as crowns. Wear it proudly. You and your person have your own crowns, and you appreciate each other for that. So that's why you're able to partnership. That's why you're able to lead and show affection and give genuine care without the feeling of looking corny to each other. You can probably even be goofy and silly with each other. We have fragrance, sexuality, attraction, feeling undesirable. You used to feel undesirable in the past because of the people you used to deal with. But this person, the way that you make them feel, the way that they make you feel, is like you the sexiest piece of all that is glorious in the room. We're not even going to say piece of ass. You to them are the epitome of beauty, okay? They looking like nobody else can wear that slipper but him or her. Nobody else can do that. I'm taken. Like, I feel like if somebody even thought about trying to approach them, they're going to do the Jamie Foxx might have been someone's favorite show. They're gonna do his classic don't even talk to me. You can't even talk to me. I'm taken. Okay? There's also someone might be really attracted to your scent, or your sense of smell is important to y'all, like natural fragrance. We have enchanted forest. You can't make this up. Listen. Enlightenment, spiritual adventure, journey, okay? Bewilderment. How to, boo-boo. Listen. You are marvelous, darling. Marvelous. Let the feathers that need to shed, okay? Let them go head on and shed off. Because the new ones growing in are allowing you to fly to the heights that you need to reach. If you haven't met your person yet, you will in those higher planes. As you elevate through them, as you reach them, Y'all gonna make it do what it's gotta do. Don't be discouraged. Trust your intuition. Utilize your discernment, darlings. That was your message. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul.
Get your copy of Love Confession Cyber Edition. Link in bio.